town, hustle town. Hey, welcome to Instant Ramen, guys. Thank y'all for showing up tonight. And y'all know how we do this. This is just going to be a quick episode, quick interview. Get your ramen, your noodle, your water boiling, your noodles cooked and spiced up and ready to go. With me tonight, that dynamic Foxtrot, Andreas. What's up, bro?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. This week, man. So much soccer, insanity.
Hey, you know how it goes. Insanity. Speaking of insanity, the man, the myth, the legend, the truth, Tom Bogert is with us tonight, man. Welcome into Instant Ramen.
What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Ooh, pretty good. Like amazing, and of course having you here, probably the legend of Twitter and all the rumors. Pretty much anything that happens goes through you. So it's an honor.
Glad to be on the program as always. Yeah, you guys have been there for a long time for me.
It's
Oh yeah, and particularly when I was subscribed to the Athletic, I've been pretty much reading out all the material you've been putting up, and it's felt like forever, but I've been like keeping up with everything you've been going through, and of course as we go through your career path and your background, obviously we're gonna go through the projects that you've been up to, but really, one more time, just we appreciate you being here and being flexible with us, but yeah, like and of course towards the end we'll definitely get into the Dynamo stuff that you've been posting a lot.
take him in, man. Take him in, Foxy. Let's get to know Tom and what's new and what's going on with him.
So yeah, and really just before we get into what you've been up to right now, and we really want to just focus on your background first, since I know you've been with the Athletic for a very long time. But what can you tell the people that don't really know much about you when it comes to your time before the Athletic and in the time in between then and now?
Yeah, so I started off freelancing and kind of trying to find my way, and I got a confluence of hard work and good luck getting a couple articles. I reached out to MLSsoccer.com, sent a couple article ideas, pitches, and he was like, "Thanks for the email. No, we don't like any of these ideas, but we like some of the examples you've sent of previous work. Maybe there's something we could talk about." And from there, I got very lucky that got my foot in the door at MLS. I had some wonderful, wonderful people around me and guiding me. And yeah, just kind of took off from there. I was also lucky that after, I don't know, maybe a month or two, Sam Stagel, who's one of my mentors, was at MLSsoccer.com, and he left for the Athletic. And MLS didn't hire anybody to replace him. And it was it was like, hey, you've seen what Sam's been doing the last, year, a couple months here. Like, if you want to take a crack at doing it, see what you can be or whatever, like, go ahead. And I was like, sure, hell yeah. And from there, again, ended up becoming Tommy Scoops out of that. So it was, yeah, again, I liken it to, keep saying it over and over again, because when people ask for advice, it really is hard work and everybody needs a little bit of luck. You need that one yes that changes everything. And then, again, your preparation and your work will kind of take you from there.
What a journey! What a journey!
No, and yeah, like it's been insane, and I've been like just based on what I've been like reading over time, especially on Twitter, which has been like the best place to like get all the content. I've been constantly seeing the growth over time, and of course, when it comes to this space of communications, media, and journalism, it's very difficult to get an opportunity like this, particularly someone that like doesn't have experience or really platforms that haven't really invested into soccer that much up until the Athletic like started up and just became the behemoth that it is right now. And and really when it comes to now, and this actually happened like over the past week, I've noticed that you left the Athletic, and just before you did that, I've been noticing that you've been hinting at several projects you've been working on. Obviously, the first one being SoccerWise, and now the platform you just joined over the Athletic, which was Give Me, if I remember correctly,
Give Me Sport.
Give Me Sport, right? And And the one I wanted to start with, it was SoccerWise, because as soon as you announced that, I was like, okay, David Goss, Jordan Angeli, Tom Bogert in one room. Like, it's like, okay, a lot of content. And I just wanted to see like what started that process when it comes to like creating the podcast, and and really what inspired you to do that.
Sorry, I think I cut out a little bit. So in case that was a little bit of delay, that's on me and my computer. Just bought a new laptop that I need to still hook up, but
Gotcha.
it's been a crazy day. So yeah, soccer wise, and I'm glad that you, even the way you framed it, whereas like Tom and Goss and Jordan Angeli, like okay, like that's where it started for us. Like David Goss, obviously he's become one of my close friends. Somebody who means a lot to me professionally, one of my favorite people, and he's one of the best podcasters, analysts, all that, broadcasters around this game. So when Goss had more availability, I think we can say it that way, of not doing much with Apple and MLS after, unceremoniously, he and I were just hanging out, and I was like, dude, like, I just want to talk soccer with you. I just want to do something with you because I want to talk to you. And I think other people feel the same way. And that's what it was born out of. And it sounds idealistic, but it's well and truly the birthplace of SoccerWise. That was the idea. Thankfully, Goss's got the ball rolling on that. That's kind of where my planning process ended. We have a couple of adults that actually help us in the background because me and Goss aren't in the adult world and of how to set all these things up. We can just talk into microphones about soccer. That's our skills. So again, from that a basic idea, we've made it happen. I've been overwhelmed by the support so far. The Discord that people can get to by going through our Patreon and subscribing. It's been fun as hell, honestly. Like, I love talking, like, going back to the basic point of just love talking soccer with my friends and like-minded people and everything else. So it's really been awesome. And I'm really excited for where it's going to go. We're going to have live shows in the future. Even better to be able to see people in person, talk to people, do all that stuff. Like, this is, I don't know. We feel very lucky and very happy about where things are going. But again, we're only a month in, so who knows where it'll go.
Yeah, and it's still definitely early. And the one thing that, yeah, and the one thing that I see just based on everyone that's involved is pretty much just the sky's the limit. And particularly when it comes to just seeing the videos on YouTube popping off here and there, and just the sheer amount of content that's there altogether, I think it's great. And whatever's ahead, I feel like SoccerWise can just blow up immediately, like if it hasn't yet. But already has like a big chunk of the fan base, of course, that has been following you from the start, and just getting into Give Me Sport. It for me, at least, like someone that has been subscribed to the Athletic for a long time, it definitely sucks that you moved on from that, but that's perfectly fine because we did get because I did see that the platform that you're at right now, it's definitely identical to the Athletic. But the one thing I wanted to ask initially is that what led you to switch platforms, and what's the thing that really differentiates Give Me Sport to the Athletic?
Yeah, so for me, it was Give Me Sport came in, showed me how serious they are about wanting to build an MLS site. Like, I am currently the only dedicated MLS writer or anything. Like, I have, they have a UK platform that is doing well and has some really cool people on that side, like Ben Jacobs, chief among them. So they have editors over there, but like, those are the people that are like editing my stuff right now because we're starting from zero and we're starting with me and we're gonna bring in more people and build something. So look, obviously it doesn't have the name brand as the Athletic. It doesn't have the cachet. It doesn't have, like, what it comes down to though is more platforms caring about American soccer and covering American soccer and trying to invest in it in terms of content and bringing things to the fans. Like, it's only a good thing. So again, like, there's no bones being made about it. Like, the Athletic is the top notch in journalism for everything, right? And my now former colleagues, which feels a little sad to say that sometimes, like, they're like, I say this all the time, and I've said this to Paul even when it makes him uncomfortable. Paul Tenorio is the best American soccer writer we have. He is the best. He is the gold standard. Pablo, Felipe, Jeff Reuter, like, these are phenomenal MLS writers. Like, so The Athletic is going to have their incredible stuff, and I think that we're going to build something pretty cool here too. And again, for fans, for people who want to cover, like, even like with where we were at the, like, when I was at The Athletic, we couldn't cover everything, man. We wanted to do everything we could, but there's what, 6 of us now. There's 5 of them, and one of me over here at GiveMeSport. So more coverage is better, man, because there's a large appetite for this, and our game, our league, our national team, all this, it's serious stuff. And again, the more people, the more companies that are investing, like GiveMeSport is now, I think is only a good thing.
Oh, yeah, and I mentioned it earlier when it comes to like the platforms, and really like years ago, I could tell like the Athletic what you started small and then you started going big over time. And just the thing about platforms like GiveMeSport, it just gives more opportunities for people to expand or just like expand on the sports. You mentioned that you were the only one doing MLS, and I feel it's definitely gonna grow up over time. But we're really just having that competition. I feel like it definitely encourages like platforms to cover that, and of course the sport of soccer just growing like slowly over time. But as like you just compare now to like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you see the difference right away.
Right.
But,
and I hope that we're looking in 5 or 10 years at like, oh my God, the growth is unrecognizable. And it is sad to me. Like, look, when I started at MLSsoccer.com, we were like, that was a great way to get your foot in the door to start. Like, we had probably at half the games. So I started in like 2018, probably half the games every weekend in MLS. They had a paid writer to be there to do stories. And 5 years before I was there, they had somebody at every single game. And now it's just not the case. And that's really sad to me. And I feel really bad for young writers, young content creators coming up of like, on one hand, you can create your own platform. It's easier than ever, which is awesome. So you can do your own work, try your own stuff, like continue to get better, take your reps. But like on the other hand, a place like MLSsoccer.com, places like SB Nation, like that was the breeding ground for a lot of young writers. That was where you got your reps. You got your first chances. You got, if you're lucky, a few bucks to do it, right? Like, so it makes me sad to see that. And again, I hope that there's going to be more and more platforms that come up and take up this space as well and give young writers a chance.
That's pretty much us right now. Like, for example, this guy next to me right here, like he goes to all the games. Like, he lives in Austin. He makes the 2.5-hour drive. Like,
wow, well done.
Like front and back. Like he goes to all these things. Like, only because we love doing it, not necessarily because we wish we could just like benefit financially out of that. But still, we just love what we're doing, and even if we don't have like the platform supporting us, we just made our own.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's awesome. That's why I want to be here with you guys, to help support you guys and be with, like, again, man, like we're all in this together.
It's a blast, man. Everything that we've been doing, everything on the Foxtrot TV and the network all together, following and listening to you and as an inspiration among all the other people that we're meeting, what we're doing on Instant Ramen and talking to everybody from other teams and getting to know people, and just it's fun and it's a blast. And so definitely what you're doing is appreciated and seen, and it's going to grow to a point where you're going to need some help. We're here for you.
Absolutely. Don't worry, I'll call you guys.
No, but yeah, just a lot of room to go, especially with like a lot of creators like us trying to get into the space, and with a dream of like getting to where you're at right now or like even further. So it's always good to consider, and it goes pretty much to like all the teams across MLS and WSL and all the soccer leagues, really. But yeah, like really the other thing that we brought you in today is because you, in a sense, you kind of blessed us with news, because like this past off season it was kind of slow, particularly because of our budget restrictions, and we all had to like trade a couple times. And for us, it really sucked because we're currently going through like an injury for Nelson Quinones, and it definitely affected our team for sure at the start of the year. And I also know that because a lot of Dynamo fans that I follow have been commenting on your posts a lot of times, asking you for like Dynamo news, Tom, Dynamo news, Tom. And the past couple of weeks, we finally got a blessing, and it came through. Like obviously the first one being Ezequiel Ponce, like breaking our transfer record that was broken a couple of years ago, supposedly, and since yesterday, the news of Lawrence Denali.
Yeah.
Like it's been insane, and I'm sure a lot of people are here because of that. But the first thing I want to ask when it comes to Ezequiel Ponce, for us it was big because, like I said earlier, the transfer record and all that is a position that we really need because we've been lacking goals and we've
Yeah.
been falling behind in games. But for you, like, and you can just like go back to what you've reported already. Yeah, what can you tell us, or what do you see in this player that can get us to the next level? Because we already blocked the transfer record once, but then we did it again. But is this actually our time, like to just to go to the next level in the league?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Ponce, and his goal record speaks for itself at AAK Athens. What I was told in talking to people at the club during the search, that like the underlying numbers and the specificities of the way he fits for what Ben Olsen wants from a number 9 in this game model made him their top choice. So that's encouraging to me. And again, the money spent is obviously encouraging, the goal record, because this Houston Dynamo team is very good. Last year, awesome season, win Open Cup, get to the Western Conference Final. This year, despite the injury crisis, despite all of the other kind of hurdles they had at the beginning of the season, they're still a very good team. And I don't think that they can compete the same way at the top of the Western Conference right now. Again, with LAFC, LA Galaxy, Real Salt Lake, and then there's the grouping of like Colorado Rapids, Seattle are coming, Houston are in that, right? To challenge that top tier, they needed a big boost in attack, and they knew that they needed a number 9. If Ezequiel Ponce is as good as they think and as good as they hope that he is, the Houston Dynamo are absolutely in the mix to be back in the Western Conference Final, to like be challenging to get to MLS Cup. Like, why not? Like, this team is very good, and if a $5 million, whatever the fee was, $5 million center forward comes in and starts playing well right away, which isn't a guarantee. It's never easy to come to a new league midseason, all that, right? There's going to be an adaptation period. If he comes in and hits the ground running, or is at least in full form as we get down the stretch at the end of the season, the Houston Dynamo should be looked at one tier up than kind of where they are right now. So they needed that. They needed him first to raise the ceiling. And then Lawrence Anali, another one that I've reported that they've signed. They needed the depth. They needed more options in attack. That's why they traded for Latif Blessing, who's been better than I thought he was going to be. And that's no disrespect to Latif Blessing. That's more of a kudos kind of the front office that I didn't know how exactly that one was going to work out. So now you add another. You spend it's $3 million ish to sign that player. Now you add another option with Quinones injured and Barrett obviously gone. So they went from really light in attack to now that they have two pretty significant options, specifically in Ponce.
With Ponce coming in, a lot of people are, because we don't know him, we hadn't seen him, hadn't played. What is the difference between him and Sebastian Fadea? Granted, Sebastian Fadea hasn't been available to play until now.
Yeah, so that is in a stupid sense, like that's gonna be a nice one. But I know Ferreira's back. So the critiques on Ferreira was that he wasn't totally giving what Ben Olsen needed, and what he needs from his number 9. Obviously, goals are extremely important, but he was obviously benched for Corey Barrett, right, and how they ended the season last year. What Corey Barrett does so well is run, like his movements very, very good. Both his intelligence and both his relentless work rate. So that's a key. You need to be able to intelligently press and going to have the engine to press. And this team, and again, the front office believes that Ponce will be able to do that while, like, again, the work rate and everything of Corey Barrett, but also the $5 million price tag of a DP forward. So it's not easy. And again, like, I thought Sebastian Ferreira was going to be an awesome signing, like his goal record, say, in Mexico and in Paraguay and everything else. And like, he was a bright spot in that lone season under Paulo Nagamura, his debut season. And I thought that in this Ben Olsen system, he was just going to kind of take off. But, you got to buy in against the ball to play for Ben Olsen. And that's what they hope that Ponce should do.
And the buy-in, did I hear you just say $5 million?
Yeah, but the fee's somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so it does set the record.
There's probably more into it,
yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
And the funniest thing when it comes to like this, when Ezequiel Ponce was announced, literally the first game after that news was announced, Ferreira started like on the road against DC United, and he just goes ahead and scores a hat trick. And I'm like, okay, this is definitely a good problem for us, because we now have like 2 goal scorers, and Sebas, he like up until the game against RSL, which was our last one, like he contributed like for 4 goals in a row, and
Yeah.
he gave an assist last time. So I was kind of like, okay, Sebas is in the mood now, and
Dude, and that's great. Like you said, it was a good problem. Like I still assume that their plan is to like if an offer comes in for Sebas, they won't stand in his way and they'll let him go. But like again, I still think that's absolutely the plan. But like you said, hey, like not a bad thing to have another center forward to kind of try to, or as rotation, or you're chasing a game, or you're tweaking a system, whatever it is. Like it's better than having no goal scores.
so yeah, and
Definitely a nice
particularly
problem
the
to
one,
have.
yeah,
Nice
Yeah.
problem to have.
And it's not a long term solution because you can't have two DP spots on players that primarily can't play together. But for right now, for the stretch run of this season, if no offer, like they're not going to give them away on loan for free again, right? Like I don't think so. At least maybe this will sound
No,
dumb if
there's-
that happens and I'm wrong.
There's only
But like,
one year left, so no, it has to be a sell.
yeah, exactly, right? Like so. But again, like it's not a long term solution if he's still here after the transfer window. But like again, worst problems have.
And the
Yes.
other signing that you also report on, just going back to Lawrence Denali, like this is pretty big for us because we're going back to the under 22 initiative,
Mhm.
and we are addressing another big need when it comes to the wing, and definitely something that like I mentioned earlier was just like left wide open by Nelson Quinones. It was the speed.
Yes.
Honestly, like we've been relying on a lot of speed last year, and it was pretty obvious this year. And but just when it comes to that, and also we're betting on youth again, so it can go either or.
Yeah.
So it can just be a long term investment, or just to see how things go. But how do you see it?
Yeah, you said it absolutely right. They know that they desperately needed pace, and like when I've asked people about, all right, tell me about this player, the first word that comes up is pace, dribbling ability, directness. Like, and like without Quinones, like Quinones was that profile, and that was in addition to just how well Quinones was playing, that fits so much better with kind of the more creative, get on the ball type of attack, like Amin Bassi, Coco Carrasquilla. They're more of come in and then have Griffin towards the overlap, and Quinones to stretch in the field on the other side. Ibrahim Aliou can do that as well. But now again, you have more players of different profiles, and it gives Ben Olsen more options. And to your point of the nature of the U22 initiative, who knows what you're going to get from him immediately. Like the nature of this mechanism is it takes a little while because they're young players adapting to a new league mid-season in this case. Like Quinones took about a year. Aliou had some moments last year, but I think he's been much better this year. And like, so what can he give you down the stretch? Hopefully that it can just be viewed as bonus, as like, here's another option. Here's another player that we can kind of continue to break in, get minutes, try to get some performance. Hey, we're chasing a game, throw on another winger. Hey, we're winning and we're under pressure and we want to have a pacey option to hit on the counter, put him in. And like, rather than, okay, kid, you're starting now. And if you're not getting goals and assists, then like we're screwed, right? It's more about additive than expectation.
And this Anali, however you say his name, and he's a threat with that pace and the way he takes those defenders on 1v1. So people are asking for the crosses, but just from what I'm seeing, he's not going to be one of those people that's going to be crossing from the edge and from the counter. He's going to take you on and get into the box and find your targets. Yep. I'm hitting that on point right there from what you.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Again, it was pace and 1v1 ability were the two kind of highlights from what I was told.
Bring it on. With him coming in, with him coming in, what does that do for Mackenzie Gaines, who should be available this weekend to return back to the lineup off of a bad hamstring injury, but he plays on that edge too. I don't know if is it just depth? I mean, the guy just showed up too at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, Gaines would be the one that's viewed as depth, right? Like, again, when you're spending $3 million in U22 initiative, and like Gaines has had his moments in MLS, but he's never really turned a couple impressive and high moments into anything consistent, like Austin, Charlotte, Nashville. Now he's here, like, right? I believe he's at Nashville. It was very quick, but like he's that pace and like the moments, you're like, like maybe that there's like a real good player here, and it just kind of hasn't happened for him. So like I wouldn't be expecting a ton from him. Again, if you get something from him, it's only additive.
It's going to be a bonus. Yep.
No, and really just adding more competition for Aliyu, because that's one of the things that we had to mention. Like outside of Aliyu and the fullbacks that we have, and with Quinones gone, we need wingers, and this is definitely going to be great, and even better when Quinones returns.
Absolutely.
So, deep question. Coco Carrasquilla, man. We get all kinds of rumors left and friggin' right. Pat Onsat has told us in a exclusive interview last week that there's been no formal offers. People have been knocking on the door. Is there anything that you can tell us out there that maybe we haven't heard, or what can you say?
Yes. Yeah. So again, obviously defer to Pat Onstad 1,000%. But what I will say is, and again, I don't know if this was just my thinking and being wrong, but like, so when he was re-signed to a new contract last year, I was like, cool. Like, this is the long-term plan. He, they were ready for him. They were like, hey, when an offer comes, you can go. And then nothing came, and he signed a new contract. So I was thinking, okay, that's it. No more, like, the primary focus is Houston, and then if another offer comes, you figure it out. I was kind of told that, like, no, they're still expecting this summer that to, like, the same seat as last year. And again, I don't know if that was a commonly held view or if I was just wrongly I'm assuming. But so, like, yeah, like that's absolutely an active thing to watch this summer. And I think the price has lowered maybe a little bit, or maybe that they see that there's going to be more of a market. But like, for me, it just, like, we're biased, right? We watch him every week. We know how great he is. And it's just like, I don't understand how a mid-table La Liga team, a bottom half La Liga team, can't find whatever the fee. Like, it's not like, what, let's say the fee is 3 to 5 million, right? Like, how can a Spanish top division team not afford that for a really good player? So I think my thought was, okay, I guess he's staying. And I'm told that they're like Pat told you guys, like, they're expecting, offers to come this summer again. And I didn't know that was kind of the idea.
Interesting. Coco.
So in short, nothing new.
Nothing new.
Everything that I've been seeing is just like, yeah, we're interested, but not for now. Yeah. So it's like,
I don't get it, man. He's so freaking good, dude. Like, I don't get it. Like, what more can he do? Like, and hey, like, hopefully, at this point, I hope that no offers come. Just I love watching him every week. Like, he's awesome.
Again, another nice problem to have in Ben's.
Yeah, right.
And, and fans, we've been hearing it so much. They're like, okay, for the right price, just let him go. Blessing falls
but no
into
offers
that position.
Come. Like,
no, none. Yeah. So what's going on? Something
they signed Kowalczyk last year because they were sure Coco Carrasquilla was going to leave at the end of the window, and no offers came. Like, again, it was, and Kowalczyk's been has been solid this year. So it's I don't know. It baffles me. Like, and again, it was the same thing with Kai Wagner in Philly. Like, I know Philly weren't asking for a lot of money, and then Kai Wagner was a free agent, and the offers he was getting was like Red Star Belgrade when he thought it was going to be Bundesliga. I thought it was going to be Bundesliga. Anybody who's watched him in 5 years in MLS thought it was going to be Bundesliga. So I don't know. Maybe we're just all biased from watching these guys every week, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, I guess. So we've got another one that's just been kind of tingling back and forth and just making people speculate left and right, and that's Franco Escobar. At one point, everybody, he wants to go to Miami and play with Messi, and then that got shot down by Miami. Well, is there anything going on with Franco Escobar out there, or is this just inside?
That got shot down by Houston. Miami wanted him. He was like, that'd be cool to go play for Tata and Messi again, but like, Houston, like, are they supposed to just gift wrap their key player, a key starter? Like, no, either meet the valuation or no, right? Like, they just signed a new contract, all this stuff. So that's kind of how that one went. And like, I would have done the same thing if I was Houston. And like, Miami, just because you want a player doesn't mean you get him. So sorry.
Yeah, Miami wanted the Messi tattoo discount. So
well, good for Escobar. And we have noticed an attitude change in Escobar as far as like on the field. He's still aggressive and he still loses his mind sometimes. But it's hey, taking it easy.
I love players like that. To be fair,
yeah, we love his grit. Sometimes like we don't need this right now. We're trying to fight to win the game in this situation, like, bro. Yeah, but hey, it is Escobar. We love him. We just don't know how much he hates playing on that left side because Dorsey holds the right side, and he does want to go back over there. But it seems like he is understanding to it now. Finally, hopefully.
Yeah.
But man, Pat Onstad's been here for 2.5 years. Through his tenure, how would you rate his tenure with the Houston Dynamo here?
Very strong. Look, I don't think that there was enough understanding of kind of the mess he inherited. Not
Yeah.
just like in terms
Oh yeah.
in terms of playing roster wasn't great. They had to overturn that. Coaching search obviously had to come in. The first one didn't go well. Like Paulo Nagamura, like it was clear he was not their top target. And again, you can criticize the front office for not getting the deals done the other targets, but so the first year didn't go well. But I think if Ben Olsen was the head coach in that year one, I don't he would have been better, and I think he would have been better suited to handle that. But that wasn't a team that was going to go far. So while the head coach wasn't a great hire, it's that was always going to take a little bit of transition. It wasn't just the salaries that they had to get rid of, or the players who didn't fit, or what was Bahamic? What was it? They spent a couple $1 million on a U22 forward who never
Bahamic,
who was barely good enough for Houston Dynamo too. Right? They were one of the 3 teams to use a DP spot on a center back in Teenage Adabe, and he wasn't much of a difference maker, right? I don't mean to just be overly negative, but all of that plus as what happens when people are fearing for their jobs, they pull assets forward. You can pull allocation money forward. You can mortgage the future to try to for a little short-term boost. That's what you do when you think you're going to get fired. And so when they opened the books, it was oh my God, not only do we need to hire a new head coach, not only do we need to get rid of some players, the allocation money we thought we were going to have next year, that's already gone. We need to rehab all of this. So it was, I think, a bigger task than even I think Pat Onstad would probably tell you that it was an even bigger task than he knew exactly what he was signing up for. Not that would have changed anything. It was just kind of expectations and what was going into it. So that's just a defense of the first year. And last year, they had the magic back. They won a trophy. They got to the Western Conference Final with a team that dude, go back and look at the comments when Ben Olsen was hired. There was a lot of criticisms. A lot of people saying this guy sucks, all this stuff. They were right. Hector Herrera, he was awful his first couple months. Guess what? He was insanely good last year. He's very good this year, right? All of these things work in conjunction with each other because part of the reason why Hector Herrera was all checked out, the culture wasn't good. They needed to redo the culture. They needed a lot of different things, and that was never going to happen in the first year. So I would say really, really good. He brought a trophy back to this club, and he got them to the Western Conference Final, and they're still good, right? So if it all falls apart, we can reassess. But right now, I think that it'd be wild to say anything other than very, very positive.
Trust the process. All right, we're running low on time, so I'm going to give you a little rapid ones. I have 3 quick ones.
Cool.
Make the answer as long as you want because technically it is your time and we're here with you, sir.
I'll be quick. Yeah, we got to get going soon.
Fox, if you want to follow up, any hint to the new owner that Ted is about to introduce to the Houston Dynamo?
Absolutely no clue. Okay. I hope it's another basketball star. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe Paul George before he left the Clippers. Maybe Harden got him in. I have no idea.
we're still here in soccer related, so it might. I think it may surprise you. And I've got a hint, but I'll say that off air, not on air, and we'll move on. So. With the 2 new additions that you've just announced, and one has been confirmed by Houston, the second will be confirmed soon, we hope, obviously. What we're hearing about right back depth, attacking right back depth, or something a little more to a depth as well. Are you hearing anything else that Houston may be in the rumblings of?
Yeah, I think that would make sense. I think, again, it's going to depend on outgoings. If Goko Karaskea leaves and if Sebas Ferreira leaves, I think that they're going to try to bring in a DP attacking midfielder. But I don't know that for sure, 1, and 2, that's a lot of ifs. Those are 2 big deals that would have to happen. So I think it's going to be super fluid. I think that they're going to try to have all of the work prepped. I know that they've talked about if this happens, then what will we do? They played out the scenarios, and we'll just kind of see what outgoings happen.
Without these 2 new signings coming in, you put them on paper. You said we're tier 2 in that area, trying to work our way to 1. Are we moving the needle prior to playing and hopefully moving that needle into tier 1 if they perform as rated?
Yeah, look, again, if Ponce is the real deal, if he's a legitimate above average DP forward, which is a high bar, obviously, then they're better than Vancouver for me. I think that they're on that level with Colorado, Portland, and Seattle, and that puts you in the mix. That's a team that could beat the Galaxy, Real Salt Lake, or LAFC in a one-off game. They might not be favored. They might definitely have to go on the road to beat those teams because of where the points are. But all you can do is give yourself enough chances by consistently making the playoffs and consistently being good and difficult to beat. And that's what this team is. So playoffs can be a crapshoot. Playoffs can be unforgiving. They can, knockout tournaments revolve around little moments. Sometimes, a lot of times, it has to do with some luck. Like, you can't do any of this without at least a little bit of luck. So all you can do is put yourself in the best position that you hope the bounces go right.
Very good. Tom, I want to thank you. That's my bit of questions. Andreas, I hand the mic to you, sir.
There, guys. Really subscribe to the SoccerWise podcast. Give me sport a shot, and of course, you guys are already following Tom Bogert, but Tom, where else can people find you?
No, that's all I'll say. I'll keep pushing the SoccerWise. Check out our Patreon, subscribe to the podcast, all that stuff. So yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys as always for the support. Foxtrot, we joked about this before. I distinctly remember me and you DMing, 2019, 2018, when I was, still I wasn't this, right? So I mean that. That's why I say I'm always glad to jump on and talk to you guys.
And we appreciate you. Yeah, thank you.
Well, Tom, appreciate you coming on to Instant Ramen as always in H-Town and all around, because Tom has a lot of friends that'll be listening to this show. And Foxtrot hopping on with us tonight. We want to thank you all. Have a good night. Be safe for y'all cleaning up after the floods and the without power. And Tom, again, thank you as always. And y'all, keep your noodles going. Listen to Tom. He's the truth. Peace.